dark forces trying to push Hong Kong towards destruction. After 4 months, the violence of the rioters continued and escalated, even after the Hong Kong government withdrew the controversial proposed extradition bill. It is now clear that many hidden dark forces were behind the scene, hijacking the original peaceful protests for their own evil political agendas. The riots were meticulously planned, orchestrated, and organized to push Hong Kong towards destruction. Again and again, false news and untrue stories were spread to incite people, particularly the young, onto the streets. The most notorious case was that the police had killed 6 people inside Prince Edward Station. Actually, no one was killed and no one died. Yet the fake news creatively used the names of some people who recently committed suicide, as well as making up fake names and addresses to produce the list of the 6 supposed fatalities. Despite this clarification, rumors continued and went viral for several weeks, causing rioters to target Prince Edward Station and the nearby Mong Kok police station. Another example of this propaganda campaign was when horrific photos of the police falsely accused of sexually assaulting arrested females were circulated on the internet and social media. These photos were later found to be completely false, and in fact taken from Japanese and French porno movies. Also circulated were photos and statements from various groups, such as the Custom and Excise, the fire services, and so on, declaring support for the rioters. These were all proven to be faked and false news. One must ask, what were the motives behind making up and spreading such malicious stories? 1. To incite public anger, create unrest, and encourage gullible citizens, especially the young, to come out into the streets to protest. Fake news about police brutality, murder, sexual abuse were used by rioters to justify their escalated violence towards the police. 2. To target the mainland companies and banks in Hong Kong for vandalism and damage the national flag and the national crest so as to provoke China to send the People's Armed Police or even the People's Liberation Army to come to Hong Kong to restore order. This plot had completely failed, as our police were steadfast in their resolve and were able to preserve law and order in Hong Kong. 3. To smear the government and spread anti-government sentiment to try to shake and shatter the confidence of Hong Kong people in the government in order to overthrow the government and achieve a color revolution. Lee Hsien Loong, Prime Minister of Singapore, saw through these tactics and pointed out that the forces behind Hong Kong demonstrators clearly wished to overthrow the government.
I don't see any easy way forward because the demonstrators, they say they have 5 major demands and not one can be compromised. But those are not demands which are meant to be a program to solve Hong Kong's problems. Those are demands which are intended to humiliate and bring down the government.
As Hong Kong stepped into the 5th month of unrest, the number of rioters was decreasing, and they were now only coming out on weekends. But their violence had not diminished, and was increasingly disturbing to the public. We are confident that these lies and fake stories will all be investigated and exposed. Dark forces simply cannot prevail, and peace and order will be restored in Hong Kong. A group of Hong Kong residents.